What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Finance and Freedom. My name is Todd, and unless you've been living under a rock for the last several days, you've probably noticed that the entire market, stocks, crypto, everything, you name it, it's all down. But before you panic and sell off your entire portfolio, I want to break down what's really happening and why this is kind of to be expected, and it's a normal part of market history. Let's get into it. So over the weekend, we saw a sharp sell-off across the entire board. Lots of stocks and cryptocurrencies dropped anywhere between 50 and 80%, literally overnight. And if you opened your portfolio on Saturday morning and saw that everything had dropped, yeah, it wasn't pretty. But here's the thing, markets don't move in straight lines. Crashes and corrections and pullbacks are all just kind of normal part of investing. They often happen faster than rallies do. So what matters is how you respond, not the short-term price action. Let's zoom out for a second. The S&P 500 has experienced over a dozen corrections of 10% or more since the year 2000. In 2008, the market dropped over 50% and then tripled the next decade. In March of 2020, COVID hit and the market fell 34% in just 1 month. Yet, by the end of the year, it had recovered completely and hit new all-time highs. So, history tells us one thing: panic sellers lose, patient investors win. This weekend's crash is just another chapter in that same story. It's just another blip on the radar. Now let's talk about the big headline and what actually happened. Trump's 100% tariff announcement on China. Here's what he sent out. It has just been learned that China has taken an extraordinarily aggressive position on trade in sending an extremely hostile letter to the world, stating that they were going to, effective November 1st, 2025, impose large-scale export controls on virtually every product they make, and some not even made by them. This affects all countries, without exception, and was obviously a plan devised by them years ago. It is absolutely unheard of in international trade and a moral disgrace in dealing with our nations. Based on the fact that China has taken this unprecedented position, and speaking only for the USA and not the other nations who were similarly threatened, starting November 1st, 2025, or sooner, depending on any further actions or changes taken by China, the United States of America will impose a tariff of 100% on China, over and above any tariff they are currently paying. Also, on November 1st, we will impose export controls on any and all critical software. It is impossible to believe that China would have taken such an action, but they have, and the rest is history. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The market responded to this in complete and utter fear, and people were dumping, stocks left and right. The market completely and utterly got obliterated. All right, the next day, he sent out a message saying, "Don't worry about China. It will all be fine. Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want depression for his country, and neither do I. The USA wants to help China, not hurt it. President DJT." The media's in full meltdown mode, but if you've followed Trump before, you probably already know that this is just part of his playbook. He leads with a hard stance, says 100%, rattles the market, and then negotiates back to the middle. It's the same strategy we saw during the 2018-2019 trade war, and the markets dipped temporarily and then exploded upward once the deals were made. Another fact to remember is that Trump uses the stock market and cryptocurrency as kind of a gauge of how well he and the US think they're doing. And so he wants to see the markets climb and do well just like everyone else. So don't let this political noise cloud your long-term vision. This is all just part of the game. One thing that was particularly difficult with this crash was the fact that a lot of the downward movement happened over the weekend whenever we weren't able to do anything about it. The markets were all closed. I wanted so badly to make some strategic moves and was limited by the fact that we can only trade during the week. One thing that most people aren't even talking about yet is that the stock market is slowly moving onto the blockchain. Now, many stocks are already beginning to trade through Solana and Ethereum ecosystem, and this is huge. This is massive. Because once traditional equities live on-chain, that means 24/7 trading, just like cryptocurrency. No more waiting for the market to open on Monday morning. Imagine being able to buy Apple or Tesla on Sunday night from anywhere in the world. This shift, it doesn't just make the system more efficient, it's a total game changer. As traditional finance merges with blockchain, it's going to push an incredible wave of capital into cryptocurrency and the entire crypto space, especially into Solana and Ethereum, the two leading blockchains ready to make this move. This is the next step in our financial evolution. Faster, more transparent, and more global accessibility. So while everyone's freaking out about the crash, the foundation for the future of finance is literally being built underneath it. Personally, I'm still really bullish on the market. In fact, I think this correction sets up one of the best buying opportunities we've seen all year. When fear spikes, smart money steps in. I've said this lots of times before, but Warren Buffett said it best. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Well, the fear index right now is flashing bright red. That's your cue. And let's not forget about crypto. While traditional markets close on weekends, cryptocurrency still trades 24/7, 365 days a year. That means you can react, rebalance, and buy during these big dips, while others are just waiting for the market to open on Monday. So yeah, crypto, it's very volatile, but that volatility is where the opportunity lies. Assets that can drop 80% can also 10x from the bottom. So don't let fear stop you. This is where real wealth is built. All right, so to sum things up, market crashes are normal and even healthy. They happen all the time. It's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, it's something to kind of get excited about because it's an opportunity to buy things way cheaper than you were otherwise able to do in the past. Trump's tariff talk is a negotiation strategy, not economic doom. In fact, I oftentimes get excited about the fact whenever things just drop off because it's an excellent buying opportunity. This is where your riches can be built. The stock market is evolving onto the blockchain, and that's really bullish for both Solana and Ethereum and the future of finance. And if you stay calm, keep your long-term vision, and buy quality assets on sale, you'll thank yourself later. This isn't the time to panic and sell off your portfolio. This is the time to position. If you got value from today's video, hit that like and subscribe button down below for more videos just like this one. And drop a comment, let me know what you're buying during this dip. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay free and stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one.